in Italy, there are big changes to the way lawmakers are going to be elected. Parliament giving its definitive approval on Monday to a new reform that the Prime Minister says will bring political stability. Opponents, however, say it's undemocratic because voters won't get a completely free choice of candidates at elections. Let's find out how significant this all is with correspondent Philip Willan, who's in Rome. Philip, can you just run us through what is actually changing?
Yes, the fundamental change is that a party that wins at least 40% of the vote will be given bonus seats, guaranteeing them a 55% majority in Parliament. The choice of candidates is a mixed situation now. The party bosses will be able to choose the number one candidate in each constituency who will be more or less guaranteed a seat in Parliament. But voters will then be able to express a preference for other candidates lower down on the list, which they previously weren't able to do. And the law replaces a previous electoral law that was declared unconstitutional by the Constitutional Court.
And we've talked about claims that this change is undemocratic for Italy. Are these credible claims or are they more political point scoring?
Well, I think it's a very subjective decision. I think what has really upset people, though, is that Matteo Renzi has insisted on driving through this reform, calling for a confidence vote, and pressing ahead with approval in Parliament, even though he didn't have the support of the opposition parties who broke with him really for other reasons. So I think it's the method which he has opted for of driving through this reform on his own without other parties that seems high-handed and has been criticised by his own some members of his own party. But as he says, the result means that after an election, one will know immediately who has won. And he says that this will also grant a greater degree of stability to governments in the future and the chance for governments to remain in office for 5 years rather than the revolving door governments that we've seen up until now. And clearly, of course, the person who's most likely to benefit from this is Mr. Renzi himself.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much for those updates. Philip Willan reporting for us from Rome. And we're going to stick with that